Beaver hunter.
We'll make a video today about getting your traps ready, dyeing your traps. Always use the logwood dye. But this year I tried something different. So what I got here, first run I just did it in my smaller pot, but I'm gonna do the rest of my traps. I normally don't do my water traps, but they got a pretty good rust on them this year, so I'm gonna dye them anyways. Add a little bit more durability to them, and it'll hide them a little bit better. Now I did a logwood dye the first round that I did on these traps, and that's what the log dye turned out with. I mean, they were darker when I put them up, I think. But I did a round this way, and my traps are nice and black. And the way I did it this time, you can see some of the debris down there. It's just maple leaves I drug up off the floor on my way out to hunting stand one night. I'm gonna get some more water in this, and I'm gonna bring this to a boil. I've got some feed bags, and actually, let me walk over here. Run these on my droner. Swoop. Run these on my droner sets. Just a sandbag. You can see that it's been dyed. I'll stuff that full of maple leaves, add it to this water, and bring it to a boil until the water turns this color. It's got a block of ice in it. The water's pretty black. What will do? What will it do? I'll do, donkey. Alright, so we're gonna get that fire going over there. Once that gets nice and hot, we're gonna start stuffing it underneath that barrel. That's just the top of a 50-gallon drum. Now, hope the camera picks this up. See that blackish purple? We're just gonna go ahead and add that to this. That's the remnants of that logwood and some other crap that was tossed in there. All these fresh maple leaves. This tree's up in the air, so I got to get them off the ground, but on a smaller maple you can grab them right off the branches. All I got is this sandbag. Fill this sandbag up with these maple leaves, and inside the leaves are tannins, which when you boil the leaves or the vegetation down, they turn black and purple, and maple leaves or oak leaves will get dark enough that you can dye your traps. The logwood dye that you buy at stores, it works. It's made with different firs and cedar barks and sawdust. And but if you've got a maple tree in the backyard or the side yard like I do, You can do it like this. Where you going? Oh, I got some leftovers of the last batch. Might as well toss them in too. Now, we got Dickie Brown on the camera here. If you'll point at this, this was that water that I was filming earlier. It's starting to get hot and it's moving around on its own. So I'm gonna add this bag of leaves. I saw this on another video. You can use feed bags. I did that the other day. But these sandbags work pretty good too, and they're not as big and bulky as the feed bags are. And when it's dry, I want to float for a minute till everything gets soaking wet. I'm gonna put this trap back in anyway, so I'll just use that to hold this down.
That's hot. That's hot.
This bag fill up with water. And then when I'm done letting this boil in there for, I don't know, it only takes about 30 minutes. If you got clear water, you can see it when it turns. And that's what you're looking for, is your water to get dark. And you'll know, run a small batch of traps through it. If they don't get dark enough, then you need some more tannins in there. You can add it. A lot of times I got some big pines out front. You look up there, I'll cut some pine boughs down, I'll throw them in there, and that scents those up too. And basically you're doing this just to get rid of any odors and to stop any more oxidization. So any kind of scent you can get off of these things. I mean, the actual scent proofing comes in the waxing, but this is the start of it. This stops the oxidization. And you can put a brand new trap in, wash it with some detergent, some Dawn soap, put a shiny trap right in the ground and still catch just as much. But once they start rusting, this helps preserve it a little bit. All right. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You can trap coyotes with them.
6 traps. These are, yeah, that's the number 2. That's the number 2. That's the number 2. That's the number 5. That's a Duke number 5. Or somewhere in here is a 550. Yeah. It's a Duke number 3. But yeah, those are all for coyote beavers. Temperature of the air is a little cool, so it's rolling off of here, but basically your main goal is to make sure that, there we go, that the traps that cooled that water down a little bit are covered. We'll let that roll for about, yeah, that cold steel calmed that down. We'll let that roll for about 30 minutes in there, and then we'll check on them. All right, so I got a set of traps in there, my dog traps and my fox traps. I heard you, good shot, son. I ran these snares last year. I bought them. They're Michigan regulated. All I did is baking soda and water them, got the sheen off of them, and I ran them like they are. This year I'm going to be dyeing them with the rest of my traps. I'm going to take what's left of that gray. And all my stops and everything got a good rust on them now, so it's not going to hurt them. It'll make everything run smoother and drop and work like it's supposed to. Give them a check. Been in there for about 25-30 minutes. It's a pretty warm cauldron. That chain looks pretty dark, and that water's a good color that's coming off of that. Let her drain for a second. Keep what we can in there.
How long have they been in there?
Those 6, and I think there's 2 more in there because the other one was holding the bag shut. And I don't care if those even stay in there. I got a pretty good color on those. I might end up sticking them back in after everything else has been done. Yeah, there's another trap. Right there, maple leaves. There's one on there. Gives it a pretty dark color.
Yeah!
I'm gonna have to go through now. Check all the pan tensions after this is all done. I'll wax these 2. That's a beaver trap, but I won't wax this one. But, so I'm mixing this with dirt hole set. And the rest of the ground is that color around there.
Dad,
What?
so now could I? No, could
Yep. Ready, set, go. Alright. So snares are going in. Yeah. That's white's throwing the light off, but you can see the difference pretty drastically. And like I said, I'll let these sit overnight after everything's boiled. Like this one took it real good. This is a newer trap too. So maple leaves, they work. Cool down because I just filled her up to the top with water. And I added a second bag of leaves because I added 2 more batches of traps, so why not? And you can see how dark that water is now, and that's exactly what you're looking for. Alright, so here we are. Before I went in the house last night, I shoved all the coals underneath the barrel and just let it cook off. It's not gonna hurt anything, but those pretty gray snares turned out well. They're nice Nice and colored dark. Doesn't look like it when I put the camera super close to it. There we are with those. Like I said, I normally don't do my water traps, but I had the room and they were pretty dang rusty, so look at that, they're pitch black. That's just maple leaves. I'm pretty happy with it. Everything turned out black. I'm happy with it. So that's it, man. Just maple leaves and hot water. Browner table got it. So you can see my fingers. That's what's dyeing the traps. Not bad. Beaver hunt. Right there's the footholds. Those turned out. I'm happy with the color on these.